Okay, now we were discussing on page 2, measure 16, and it starts with an A over here, and then A chord run the left hand. Now when you finish that, you're going to start a 4-note scale. B, C, D, E, really easy. The notes are just right next to each other. B, C, D, E. But when you hit that E note, the 4th note of the scale, you want to start a left-handed C chord run. Like that. Let's take it back here, measure 16 again. So here's your A minor chord run. Like that. Now when you finish that, you're going to start a G chord run. But the notes leading up to it are like this. So you got a G note, F, G note, F, E, D. Now when you hit that D, we're going to do at the same time you play the D, you're going to do a G chord run. And so the left hand you have G, then an octave higher G, and then move your finger over to B over here, like that. So let's try this expression over again. Like that. And then that's followed by some pickup notes. E, D, C. Now when you play the C, you're going to start an A minor chord run, your left hand. And then you come down and play E in the right hand. Then D, C, B, and then when you hit the B, this is part of an E chord. You got these E's. And then you come over here with the left hand, and then you start the phrase that we had. You start the phrase we had at the beginning of the song. You can trade hands. Now this is a little bit longer right over here, a little bit longer, because you have D sharp, E, 2nd time, 3rd time, 4th time. Now when playing that phrase, you want to speed it up, slow it down, you want to play it soft and quiet. If you play it monotone, then it doesn't sound good. So just kind of slowing and speeding up. This is called dynamics. You can listen to it. Okay, so you want to start applying dynamics to this, but before you do a dynamics, you're going to have to be able to just learn how to play it first. Once you learn how to play it, then you can start applying dynamics to this. So we're going to continue now, and we're going to look over here on measure 28. The very bottom of your paper, you know, we've got the same phrase going on, measure 28. You have an A note in the right hand. And then you have the A minor chord run, left hand. I'm leaving that pinky free for the B note. And now we start that same little scale we had before. So we're on measure 28, 29, 30, 31. Now we're on measure 30. B, C, D. Here's a C chord run. And now we go over to page number 3. Okay, so we are now on page 3. And this is measure 32. And measure 32 is that same phrase we had before, using the G chord run. And then we come back over here to A minor chord, and we have that A minor chord run. And then we come over here to the E's that we had before, and you play these octave E's. Then you start that long phrase. You know, we go da 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 da. And it starts over again. So then on measure 36, we have the same kind of thing. We just have that same phrase. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you start the A minor chord run. And then over here on the next measure, which is be measure 39. On measure 39, we have the same chord run before, the E major chord run. And so if you can play page 2, pages 1 and 2, page 3 is the same thing. And then coming down here to measure 40, we have the same thing before, those basic 9 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that starts with the A minor chord run like you had before. And then we go to the E chord right over here. And then now down over here, measure 44. This is where the song changes. Like I said earlier, measure 44, this is where the song changes on page 3, bottom of page 3. So we need to look at this. This is brand new material. Now down here we have this chord run, and the chord run it starts here, right over here. You have a B flat and a C here, E and C there. That's a C chord, and it goes to an F chord, then back to into a C7th chord. So we C7th chord, F chord, C7 chord here. Let's look at this chord progression right here on the piano. We're on measure 44, the last half of it, and the right hand is going to play C and E, then C and F, then C, G, E. So the main thing to realize here is the top note is C, and the bottom note changes here. So you know, you got C, 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 but your right hand, you know, you begin with C plus E, C plus F, go back to C plus E, but add a G, like that. Okay. Now the right hand, the top note again will be C. See, if you just look at the top notes, C, C, C. But now the left hand, you're going to have C and B flat, then C and A, and then C, B flat, G. So when you combine the right hand, left hand together, what you have is it starts off with this is a C7 chord. And then it goes to an F chord. Then it comes back to a full C7 chord, like that. And that's how that starts off on measure 44. Now measure 45 is different. Measure 45, the song really changes here. But let's start with measure 40 and show you how this leads into it.